It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I don't know what you were up to, but it's a beautiful time to think about a holiday in which it's all based on giving thanks. Thanks for this beautiful opportunity to be alive, to see all the beautiful things and experience all that life has. You have to look at life as a whole, a complete picture. It's complex, and you can experience something for one given moment, for one emotion, and for what it is. That's part of it. I mean, that's part of you making memories. Memories are a lot about the emotional experience we have around something. But as a complete picture, it's not only the whole arc of your life. Like that's one of the terms we use when we're describing somebody's path. We talk about the arc of a life, kind of from birth, going up as we grow and we become our own selves. And that's important, to become your own self. And then we kind of get to the top, I guess, is what they kind of think of it, like the middle of life or something like that, maybe. I don't know. The arc might not necessarily have to be in the middle of your life, but sort of the part of your life where you've come to terms with things, I guess. Maybe that's the idea. And then you started gradually thinking about what's important about the end of life and moving towards the end of life and what comes after that, maybe, and things of that nature. But whatever, it's all just one beautiful thing, and it's all the people together, it's all the nature together, it's all the universe, the energy and the physical matter that all make up the universe, and we're all part of that. So we're all part of a whole, and we're also individuals at the same time. And we have a consciousness, and a consciousness is a unique thing, and not well understood thing, but it makes, that's the kind of like the spark. I used to call you my little bright spark. You're my little quantum particle. And it might be that our brains are largely, one theory is that each individual consciousness might very well be dependent on quantum time, or quantum activity. That's one theory about consciousness, actually. But I always kind of said it a little bit as a joke, because I was like, it's like you can know where something is, or you can know where it's going, but you can't know both. And of course, little toddlers have lots of energy, but they have a lot of also sporadic movement. Little toddlers will just get up and go do something. All of a sudden, you don't even know. It's just like one moment they seem like they're there doing one thing and they're happy with that, and they're going to do that forever, and then just all of a sudden they change their mind, change their direction. But it's cool today, and I was walking on that path, and I was thinking about that path that usually has a lot of, it wasn't just a few weeks ago, I was still seeing snakes and things on the path, and turtles, and the water turtles. You could probably, they around here, you can kind of see them almost all year around. If they get a warm day in the winter, they kind of come up from the bottoms a lot of times. Maybe only in like when we really get a real cold spell do they maybe hibernate or whatever. But the box turtles, they're all through the southeast United States, and so if it gets to be 50 degrees, say inland a little ways, it could very well freeze that night, and box turtles can't really take much freezing. So here it probably doesn't change the temperature that drastically typically this time of year, but the box turtles don't know that. And so, they go out here and they bury themselves down. So no more reptiles other than probably just the lizards. Once in a while, if we get a nice sunny day, you'll still see the lizards, but the box turtles and the snakes, they're all going to hibernate. And those box turtles can really bury themselves down. They go down like 5 or 6 feet sometimes, I think. You can look it up, but they can really bury themselves. And again, if you're inland a little ways where the ground can really freeze much more than it typically does here, it's important to be able to go 5 or 6 feet down if you're a little box turtle. Here they could probably get away with not having to go that deep, but I'm sure it's in their DNA to go down to a certain depth. And but you got to think, digging yourself back out of that. So little reptiles, they have a low metabolism and they go hibernate, and they don't use as much oxygen, so they somehow probably store some oxygen in their body. There's probably some metabolism as that breaks down. It gives them their body's able to produce energy to some degree without oxygen too, probably, and they probably have some stored oxygen. But then also the ground is there's always a little bit of oxygen, even in the soil. Not enough for humans or big mammals to be able to really survive on it all. I mean, not even a little bit, but reptiles probably get a little bit of oxygen even when they're down under the ground, perhaps. But yeah, when it rains up here, of course, this is the high end of the island, so when it rains, the water table and all, it just trickles through and goes down pretty deep. So they're not down by the water table, but in some places on the island, they can get down to the water table really quickly. And so I don't know what they do about that. I guess the little turtles, they sense a certain level of moisture in the ground, maybe, and then they don't go any further than that, perhaps. I don't really know. It's interesting, though. I think they're a real special creature, and as little kids from all over the United States. I don't know how far north the box turtle goes, but there's a different varieties throughout the United States. The eastern box turtle is the most prevalent, but there's some other varieties of box turtles. You go all the way up to the western United States and down to Texas and whatnot, and down to Mexico, and just think all around the world, all around at least North America, especially, and other parts of the world, they have different tortoises. So many little kids have always been so excited about finding a box turtle, and sometimes people, they probably shouldn't, but we take them home and keep them for a while. And now we know if you do that, you need to turn that turtle loose in the same place where you originally found it. And they're special little critters, and they, like all things, they have a unique life, but they're just such a docile and important part of the ecosystem. So probably no more turtles or snakes unless we have a really, really warm spell. I did see one snake last year. It came out in like February, but the days were getting longer, and it was warming the ground up. So the longer the sunlight, right now we have short days, so there's not much time for the sun. Once things start to get cool, there's not a lot of hours in the day for the sun to warm up a patch of ground. It's not until the days get longer again, like in February, where that sun energy can really heat up the ground. So probably we won't. I don't know. I could, but probably won't see more snakes or turtles. At least not box turtles until pretty much spring, at least close to spring. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, and I know I'm just rambling a little bit, but I think it's just good for anybody to talk about the beautiful things of life and the simple things of life. Provide some of the most important aspects and the little animals that we can all, think about, having seen and been excited by. I remember, there was a little box turtle we would go look for over at by the Elizabeth II when you were just, it's still, about 4 years old, three and a half, 4 years old, and a little box turtle would come out. We would see it in the rain. I think, saw it like a couple of times, maybe at least once, and then we went back and looked for it. But I think we saw it a couple of times. And then there was a couple that liked your garden at Artist Grammys. Oh well. Yep. So very much a fall day today. It's windy, northeast wind. I love you. Have a wonderful day and be grateful for everything. And follow that compass in your heart. And know that you can believe in God and higher intelligence than us humans, and if you want to think about it that way, and pray and think about the teachings that Jesus gave us. He tried to solve a lot of the problems that the world was having, and we still haven't taken that to heart too well. We humans keep doing the same stuff, but he was here to teach us to love one another and to forgive one another, and that was an extremely important lesson, and it was a big improvement in the way that religions kind of looked at things before Christ, and doesn't mean that we all really followed all of that well, and that the religions of the world still, have some of the Old Testament kind of eye for an eye kind of thinking and all of that in it. And anyways, humans do have to defend themselves, but we would be wise to put some time into considering what Christ was teaching, to say the least. I love you. Say your prayers. Tell your mama you love her. Tell that big dog you love her. Give her a big hug. Your brothers and sisters. And be you. You be Adeline. I love you.